And I'd say most people around here don't realize this is a log cabin. So welcome back to the sawmill, friends. The day is finally here. We're going to get started on the sawmill building. Finally! I can't believe it's finally going to happen. But before I take you guys down there to the work site, my goodness, the job site, that sounds a whole lot better, the work site. I tell you what, I can't talk. I need more coffee, I guess. So anyways, before we take you guys down there to the job site and show you what's going on with that, let me get you up to date on what's been going on here for the past few days. You guys hang in there. We got a lot going on today. As you guys just saw, it's been pretty busy here for the past week at the farm. I got the hay put up. We got 31 bales total. All those are sold. I think the buyer may show up today to get them, hopefully. If not, maybe tomorrow. We'll worry about that later. So right now we're down here on the lower field where the new sawmill building is going to be put up. And you guys saw that footage earlier of the materials. They came in yesterday. But let me show you guys where this is going. So right here is where the building's going to go. It's going to be a 40 by 72 pole barn. I came out here yesterday and kind of crudely put some stakes in the ground and pulled some corners. This is just a rough estimate on where the building's going to go. I'm having this built next week by a contractor. When they show up, they'll pull their backer boards and all that stuff and get it perfectly square. This is just to get an idea of where it's going to be at. As you guys can see, right there is the front corner. Down there's the bottom corner, and so on right there. The first thing we got to do today, before we work on this back corner, which is kind of high, I need to dig it down, is relocate that dirt right there in the middle. If you guys remember, there used to be a barn that's set right over here near the road. It fell down in a storm about maybe 3 or 4 years ago. The owner of this land at that time had the barn demoed and they buried most of it. And this is the dirt that's left over. And this dirt is in the way of the new barn because right here is going to be the sidewall. And I got some low spots over here to fill up. But before we do that, I'll probably do that maybe tomorrow. I need this dirt out of here so we can see what we're looking at. So that's what we got Mr. Cotto down here for. Taking all that dirt and piling it over there out of the way. And once that's done, we're going to come back here on this back corner. Now, I shot all these corners with the transit yesterday about probably 20 times. But this top corner up here is about 1 foot too high. You can see that rebar right there. So that's the top corner, and it needs to come down at least 1 foot to get down to grade with the other corners. So after we move this dirt out of the way, we're going to get the excavator and start digging down this corner. You guys hang in there, and before this video is over, I will explain to you why the barn's going to be put down here instead of the other location up there near the old sawmill building. And I'll also tell you guys about buying this place. All right, guys, I've been out here pretty much all day working on the foundation of this new building. And that was Dad's first time ever running the excavator. I think he's done a good job, but he's never ran one before. So be easy on him in the comments. He'll get faster the more he uses it. Let me show you guys the progress from today and what the plans are. So the goal for today was to knock down that corner back there and then come back with it down here on the same grade as the rest of the building. And this is about maybe an inch or two off from all four corners. I think it's going to be close enough for this pole barn because I am going to be pouring some concrete in here. I'm just not sure where at just yet. But a lot of this building will be gravel, so I can backfill a lot of it to kind of straighten this up a little. It does fall that way just a little, but not too bad. And this is also the first time I've got to use this transit. I bought this back in December. Spectra is the name. I don't know nothing about transits, guys. I'm a rookie when it comes to running one of these things. I got this on Amazon. It was about $600. I think it was a good deal. If you're interested in it, there's a link down below. It works really good because that laser just beeps when you hit your grade mark. You want to look through a little glass to look at a number like those old transits do. I think this one right here is pretty nice. And if you're interested in them, there's a link down below. Not sponsored by them, just trying to share with you guys the tools that I'm using here at the farm. Back on the progress of today, right here is where that dirt was. I had to relocate. I put it over there. I'm not sure what we're going to do with it. I've got a few holes to fill around here probably. But this dirt right here, guys, man, it was hard as a rock. It's been here for a while, like I said earlier. And Mr. Cotto got a workout just getting that out of here. It was really, really stout right there at the bottom. Now this new equipment shed we're building down here, or I guess we should call it a pole barn, equipment building, sawmill building. All the above. I guess it's going to have a lot of stuff in it, but not too much stuff to where it's crowded. It will be built by a contractor. I'm not sure if I mentioned that this morning to you guys. I can't remember. I've been in this hot sun all day today. And I'm about tired of it, to be honest with you. But I am hiring it done. They say they can build this in one day. This is 40 by 72. But here's the deal with this barn. It's pressure treated post. It's steel trusses, a metal roof. It's got gables on both ends that are covered with metal, and that's it. That's all they do. I will come in afterwards and close it in. And I'll probably leave two sides of it open. And that's how they can do it so fast. They're pretty much just putting the poles in the ground and building the roof structure. And you know, that's it. Not a whole lot to that. And I guess that's how they do it in one day. That seems pretty fast though. And I will be videoing that process when they start building it. And hopefully that will happen the first part of next week. Hopefully. But you never know. So over here we have the building materials they dropped off yesterday. Those right there are the steel trusses. They are spaced on 12-foot centers. And those steel trusses will bolt together and make one giant truss, which is really nice. So I have 40 feet of room inside the mill, or inside the building rather. Look over me, I'm exhausted today. I'll have a 40-foot span inside the building with no post. That's why I went with those steel trusses. They're fast, they're efficient, and they can hold a lot of weight. Right there are our pressure treated 6x6s. Those are 18 foot long. The side walls on this building are 14 foot, so it's a really tall building. We got our purlins over here on these two stacks. Got some hardware. Over there's the metal for the roof. And these trusses, guys, are pretty interesting. They got these little grooves or little channels right there. And that's where the 2x6s will set in. And that's what ties to the roof. And I'm no steel expert, but it looks like it's some pretty nice heavy duty stuff. And right there, this part will sit on top of the post. And there's where it bolts to the pressure treated post. And this building also has an 18-inch overhang on both sides. And for you guys not familiar with that term, when I talked about the side walls being 14 foot, that means the side of the building is 14 feet off the ground, and then you have the 412 pitch of the trusses. I'm really happy I went with the taller side walls so I can stack lumber inside up to 14 feet. That's pretty nice right there. I could always use more room to stack lumber. And these posts right here, friends, I'm not sure if I mentioned this either earlier. These will be concreted in the ground about 3 to 4 foot. And there is the pallet of concrete mix. And this right here, friends, is a complete kit. You can get this 40-foot wide, and the length is up to you because it comes in 12-foot increments, because the 12-foot spacing is for those trusses. So you could actually build one of these as long as you want to, if you can afford it. I may come in here later and add to this, maybe 12 or 24 feet. It's a really nice structure right there. I think it's going to work out really good for the sawmill, the excavator, and a few tractors. Now this isn't concrete yet, and this may change, but I am considering having the builder add a lean-to on one side of this barn, a 12-foot lean-to the full length, which would give me another 12-foot by 72 area for storage. I'm not sure about that yet because they're supposed to get me a price on it Monday, but if it's not too bad, I will probably add that to this kit, even if I have to wait a few extra days for the materials to come in, because that would be really nice to have a 40 by 72 and a 12 by 72 lean-to on this low side here facing the road. I can't do it on the back side because I'd have to cut that bank down too much because the grade goes uphill. But I could put it on this low side where the hay is, and I could put a lot of lumber under that. I mean, a lot of lumber. It'd be really nice to have. Hopefully, it's not too expensive. And now I'm going to answer the question that I got a lot in the previous video. How much land did you buy? How much land do you have now? And what are you going to do with it? Well, here's the answer. So about 2 weeks ago, I bought my other neighbor's property. I guess you guys remember last December, I bought the other neighbor out across the road from me. That's where the mother-in-law lives. We have 3 acres over there and the red barn. Now, this property is a whole lot bigger. It has a house on it, which I will show you guys in a previous video because it's a pretty unique house. It's actually an 1850 log cabin. And you don't know it till you go inside. It's really unique the way this was built and the age of it and the history of it. That's for a previous video. I'm not going to go in there today. But this property has the house on it. It has a small yard barn. The property goes on both sides of the road, so it touches the double wide that I own that the mother-in-law lives in. We'll just call that Red Barn Acres. I think my good buddy Brian recommended that. So we got Red Barn Acres over here where the mother-in-law lives. And this acre that the sawmill building's going on pretty much connects that property to my property that I already owned, in addition to 15 acres. This is a hay farm. You guys saw me cut the hay on it in the last video, and also you saw us baling the hay at the first of this video, if I remember right. I think that's right. I'll tell you what, guys, I got so much footage to dump on this video. There's gonna be a lot of stuff going on. But this is a hay farm. It's 15 acres. So when you take 15 acres and the 5 I have and the 3 over here on Red Barn Acres, we have 23 acres now. And this has been used for a hay farm as long as anybody can remember. I think they ran cattle on it a long time ago, but they've been cutting hay as long as I've lived here and as long as people's been around, I guess, for the past 30 years or so. That's all they've done with it. So the plans for this new property right now are to continue cutting the hay, and we're going to add cattle, but I'm not sure which side of the road the cows are going to be on. That's yet to be determined. And as far as the house goes, or the log cabin rather, it's really small. It's barely, I think, 1,000 square feet, 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, a little kitchen. It's a nice little house, don't get me wrong. I really like the house, but we're not going to rent it out or nothing like that. That's going to be my office. So it's going to get me out of the upstairs bedroom and down here closer to the sawmill building. I think it will make me more efficient as far as videos go. So right there is the house. And like I said, it's an 1850 log cabin. And the property that I live on now was part of this farm a long time ago. And according to the previous owner, some pretty unique history, that chimney right there was built by a former slave after the Civil War. That's pretty neat right there, some cool history with it. But it's a pretty unique house because when you drive by it, all you see is a little farmhouse with yellow siding. And I'd say most people around here don't realize this is a log cabin. And in a future video, I'll take you guys inside with me and I'll prove it to you. It's pretty unique, and there's some massive logs in those walls right there. Good stuff. You know what, friends? I thought I was done for the day because Bruno's up there in the swimming pool, and I'd rather be in there with him swimming and cooling off. There's some more hay that needs to come across this creek down here at the bottom and come up here to be loaded when the buyer shows up. I don't think he's coming today, but I think I'll go ahead and bring the rest of the bales over. So when he does show up, I can just load them on his trailer and he can get out of here.